Hello everyone. Welcome to the LeverX webinar series, a free educational service offered to SAP customers to inform and demonstrate SAP functionality and industry best practices to improve your business performance. LeverX is pleased to announce a new webinar series, SAP PLM Demos, which will provide detailed demonstrations of SAP PLM capabilities and user scenarios. Our webinar today is entitled SAP PLM Demos, Visual Assembly and Status Management. This webinar will present a SAP PLM demo discussing the newly released SAP PLM 7.02 capabilities to enable and support engineering collaborative change, focusing on status management, visual assembly, and routing procedures. The demonstration will also highlight how planning scopes for routings operations can facilitate the collection of change-relevant data and deliver flexible reporting functionality. See how SAP now allows you to create manufacturing assemblies without the prerequisites of material masters. My name is Alan Mendel, Vice President LeverX, and I will be the moderator for today's webinar, as well as a presenter. Before we begin our topic for today's webinar, let me briefly introduce you to LeverX. LeverX assists companies increase business value by leveraging existing investments in SAP solutions. LeverX is an SAP Services Partner and associate member of the PLM Alliance. LeverX delivers strategic, functional, and technical services in the areas of SAP, product lifecycle management, portfolio and project management, and related solutions. LeverX offers business, process, and strategic consulting, solution architecture development, implementation planning and execution, application management support, and on-site and remote delivery models. In addition, LeverX provides services for SAP mobile application strategy development and implementation, as well as a broad set of SAP technologies, including SAP NetWeaver, Workflow, Business Warehouse, and Business Objects. We are pleased to introduce our presenters for today's webinar, myself and Dennis Selenuk, PLM consultant from LeverX. Our agenda will proceed as outlined. We'll first focus on a demonstration of status management, visual assembly, and routing procedures, leveraging product variants as part of status management, visual assembly in conjunction with routing procedures, and facilitating the creation of manufacturing bill of material. First, you'll receive an overview of the demo by myself, and then I'll turn the time over to Dennis for the actual demonstration. If time permits, we'll also entertain some questions from the audience. Should you have questions during our presentation, please post those in the question box in your GoToWebinar control panel. Very well. So we'll start the presentation. Okay, so again, as we said earlier, this demo will discuss newly released SAP PLM 7.0 capabilities to enhance and support engineering change collaboration, including the usage of status management in combination with visual assembly and routing procedures to make it more efficient. The demonstration will also highlight how planning scopes can facilitate in creation of the manufacturing bill of material by reducing the cycle time and improving the visualization of the process. So again, we'll first do a quick overview of the value proposition, the demo process, individuals and tasks, and then Dennis will present the demonstration. First, the value proposition, leveraging product variants as part of status and action management. The whole idea here is to improve quality and scale of operations using new preconditions, checks, and techniques for status changes and triggers of actions based on status change. What that is trying to say is that the ability to define certain checks that the information and the process must complete before the status of a particular item can be changed. So if you will, a kind of a pre-check before an action can be executed. Visual assembly in conjunction with routing procedures. This will support you in the creating of routings and manufacturing BOMs for assembly in a much easier and more productive way. Visualize how your product gets built after each routing operations. Ideally suits for the organizations with assembly-based manufacturing to deal with large numbers of variants. Thirdly, facilitating in creation of the manufacturing BOM. This will reduce overall cycle time with routing design start as early as possible in parallel to development. Benefit from the ability to carry out allocation without material masters and a controlled handover to manufacturing using planning scope versions with new change states using change number. So that is essentially the scope. We'll go through, if you will, the 6 different segments in the demonstration. First, we'll see a planning engineer who will perform 3 tasks: evaluate an existing product structure, create a new product variant, and release the new product variant for planning. In the second scene, we'll see a planning engineer define a new planning scope and examine the work areas. Scene 3, planning engineer will maintain the header data of the new routing or create routing from a template. He will fill in the operations, examine new routing structures. In the fourth scene, we'll first see a planning engineer maintain an entry point and variant configuration characteristics and activate a simulation to validate how that works. In the second part, the validation of the 3D model of the product structure. The planning engineer will examine the 3D model from the product structure items and visualize separate components. And the fifth act, we'll see the planning engineer take a step-by-step component looking through the routing and review of new assignments. And in the final step, the planning engineer will synchronize the EBOM to the MBOM, the engineering BOM to the manufacturing BOM, review the routing structure and items assigned to the operations, and examine the new manufacturing BOM alternative.